Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys AVP Alien vs. Predator. This is the Thermal Vision glow-in-the-dark Xenomorph. Found this actually at his local comic book store. I was really surprised because I thought Thermal Vision Xenomorph was a little harder to find. Yippee yippee, Spot let out the voice of when I found this on the shelf, immediately took it to the register, and then that leads us up to this review here. This is our continued looks at the AVP Alien vs. Predator line from the folks over at NECA Toys. Thermal Vision Warrior Alien is recommended for ages 17 and up, as he does have a warning choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. Spin around the back of the package. On a remote island off of Antarctica, an expedition led by billionaire industrialist Charles Wayland hopes to make the archaeological find of the century. Proof of a civilization that predates written history. The thrill of discovery, an ancient temple buried deep beneath the ice, quickly turns to horror as the team becomes the bait in a battle between two deadly alien species. And no matter who wins, they lose. Some of the figures also we've already had a look at are featured predominantly down below, including the Grid Alien and Alien Warrior. To check out more from the folks over at NECA Toys, make sure you're heading over to www.necaonline.com, and they produce a lot of stuff. Not only aliens, but of course some of Spot's favorite movie properties have been covered and released by the folks over at NECA Toys. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the AVP Alien vs. Predator Thermal Vision Warrior Alien. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so now that we have the Thermal Vision Warrior Alien out of packaging, boy, oh boy, is this guy a glorious looking figure. It looks to be making use of again, the same mold as the Alien Grid Alien and the other aliens from AVP, which I think is already a good mold to start off with. That is one of my favorite molds from the different NECA released aliens that we've seen so far, them release. And if they can just kind of continue with using that as an existing mold for some of the more concept or interesting looking designs, I think that's the ticket for me. So with that comes the fact that the dome on the head is a little bit smaller, as well as one thing I always notice is the more triangular neck area, the neck portion that goes from the bottom of the neck out to the dome. It's very, very prevalent and very noticeable, actually, how it angles out the way that it does. The smaller dome I do really like, and I love the mouth also on this guy. Now, you probably don't adjust your computer. It is a very bright green, but with the bright green is also this nice dusting. I don't want to use the term dusting, but it kind of really looks like a dusting effect to it. They've dusted the figure in a slightly lighter, powdery yellow that brings out a lot of these super cool details on this guy. I mean, looking at him, he looks like he's a gummy snack, or he looks like he's made of lime jello. Dare I even want to say he looks delicious. Not that I should be describing a figure as delicious, but dare I say this guy looks delicious. Now, he's not a solid figure. In fact, you can see it more so from the back that they are using translucent green plastic, which again harks back to my feeling that this guy looks like a jello mold. The dusting over really carries more so from the front of the figure and not so much from the back. From the back, it's very much more a vacant figure relying solely on that translucent plastic. He does also glow in the dark, which we will be showing in a split second, maybe longer than a split second. But some of the other details on this figure, because he is utilizing the more newer AVP alien molds, he's got a lot more in the way of posability, right down to the individual fingers and to the individual two toes down below. I shouldn't say individual fingers. There's two fingers that are on a swivel hinge. One of the other things that this alien does have too is the open and closed mouth with the inner jaw inside, which can be a little bit difficult sometimes to get out. You have to kind of take tweezers, or if you have really long xenomorph-like fingers, no problem. Just fit them right in there and pull them right out. Pull out that little inner jaw. So yeah, he does have a lot of little cool little details that could be overlooked if the figure had been just a black cast or black painted plastic, but somehow incorporating him in the green and in this frosted yellow, a lot of these details shine through in a super cool way. Now, before we have a look at his posability, we'll kind of run through his posability. Did I just say posability, posability? Before we look at his glow-in-the-dark options and how he does glow in the dark, we'll look at his posability, top to bottom, and of course factoring in his tail. For your posability on the Thermal Vision Warrior Alien, his head does rotate all the way around. Not that you would need to be rotating a head all the way around on a Xenomorph, but if you wanted to, you could totally do that. Do it whatever you want. The neck hinges up and down, and sometimes through the motion of doing that, the ball joint does, sometimes the head pops off the ball joint. It's very easy to fix. Just swivel that back and forth, again, up and down. Shoulders hinge out. A little more stiffer on the one arm here, but they do hinge, both of them hinge out. You also get a full rotation on the shoulder portion there, as well as a double bend in the elbow. Essentially, if he had a migraine, you could have the hand right up to the Xenomorph's head. Oh, not right now, I've got a headache. Then his wrists rotate all the way around, a hinge back and forth also on those hands. And as we had already mentioned, he does have a hinge on the two fingers. To note as well, the fingers are extremely rubbery. Hopefully you can see how much they bend in this video. Upper torso is also on a ball joint, and through sometimes doing this as well, you pop these off. They're known to popping off all the time. Don't worry, you just pop those right back into place. There we go. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you do have to line them up, making sure you've got the right way facing. Yeah, okay, make sure we got that facing the right way. This one has popped off a lot actually during this video. Well, not during this video, but prior to shooting this video, this has popped off a lot. They should sit right into place. I might actually just take a little bit of glue. As you can see, it's not broken. It hinges itself right in, or it doesn't hinge itself, but it tabs itself right into this L-shaped tab. Just, again, doesn't always stay in the place. I might actually just, yeah, I'll just probably glue that back into place after the fact. Proceeding with the rest of his articulation, his legs hinge out, forward and back there, as well as a double hinge on the knee. He has a rotation all the way around on the foot, and also the hinges on the two toes. There's the underside of his two feet, and he's got the hinges on the toes there. And let's not, of course, forget the wire-framed tail, which is always a nice welcomed treat when it comes to the Xenomorph aliens. I love that the wire-frame tail a lot of times can also aid the figure to help assist him standing up. Because he's got such lanky legs at times, the posable tail in some ways really accents, well, really helps displaying the figure, as it serves as somewhat of a display base, really. It helps keep the figure in place, and the figure's not going to go anywhere. So that's in a nutshell, that is your Thermal Vision Warrior Alien. Not quite a concept figure per se, but certainly a different take on the original aliens that we saw in AVP. Now we'll go ahead and we'll cut the lights. We'll see hopefully if this guy has been absorbing some of the lamp juice over the course of this 6 minutes or so. And we'll see if we can get this guy to light up. And now with the lights cut, you'll see probably that the top portion of the Xenomorph is glowing a little bit more bright. The lower portions require just a little bit more absorbing of that lamp light to get a proper glow. But the glowing effect on him is top notch. Love how it turned out in the glowing feature. Hopefully the camera is doing it justice and capturing the glow effect of the Xenomorph, as it really looks outstanding. It really goes to show that if NECA takes existing molds, some that fans have collected over the many years, and simply given it a different take, can really open people's eyes to picking up these really new creation interpretations from NECA. I personally love the glow-in-the-dark feature on this guy, but more importantly, I love the green aspects to him as well. The green, as well as this frosted yellow, give him an overall super cool look. And despite the fact I've already picked up tons of these AVP aliens, I was more than more than willing to pick up another one of them if it meant I could get them in this super cool thermal vision effect. I don't know how rare this guy is. I only found one of them at my local comic book store, and I grabbed him immediately. I've heard that he's a little harder to find, but again, results may vary from store to store. If you're a fan, though, of the Alien Warriors and AVP, definitely would say pick this guy up. He will certainly stand out and glow amongst the others. I guess that's not really a great comparison, but you get the idea. Today we're having a look, though, at the NECA toys. This was the AVP Alien vs. Predator Thermal Vision Warrior Alien. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.